Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Monday, the 11th day of May 2026, one day after Mother's Day. We hope and we trust that all of you mothers out there had a wonderful day and that you were treated like royalty by your families as well. We also hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on our roads, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. Talking about traffic, I think I may have mentioned this before, and some of you may know it, others may not realize it, but the faster you drive, the more fuel your vehicle is going to consume. So we see where trucking companies and other companies that provide vehicular services, not sure about here in the Cayman Islands, but in other jurisdictions, they have reduced the speed that their vehicles will drive at. And as a result of that, save fuel, which allows them then to not to have to pass on those all of the high fuel costs to their customers as well. So in the mornings when you're heading to work, you notice those drivers that are in and out of traffic, and a stretch of road that is much shorter than the runway, our airport runway, and they're gunning their vehicles going nowhere, because when you get runway, not runaway, right? Runway, and you get to the next roundabout, and there they are, right there with you, ahead of you, waiting for clearance as well. So if you reduce your speed, you can save on gas and save on fuel as well. We're still noticing less vehicles on the road, and I do believe, I have no empirical evidence to support it other than my observation, but I do believe that the high fuel prices, those is reducing the frequency and the number of vehicles on our road as well. Some of you may see that as good. Some of you may see that as not so good. But I believe most people will welcome that as well. So again, don't forget, slow down, save on fuel, have a little bit more money in your pockets, because the price of fuel is not likely to go down anytime soon, despite whatever efforts the government may put in place to try to reduce the pain. Those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you celebrated one over the past few days, a happy belated birthday to you, and to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola and the Credit Union. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. From generation to generation, Coca-Cola still a Cayman classic. And the Credit Union looks forward to serving the people of the Cayman Islands for the next 50 years and beyond. Those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. Mr. Joel Wilson, again this morning, hey, big shout out to you, our colleague here at Radio Cayman. So, folks, I want to thank you, all of you who listen to Radio Cayman. I want to thank you. Give a big shout out this morning to Miss Elaine Young. Saw her on Saturday at the plant sale that was put on over at A.L. Thompson's, and I saw her there, and she said, "OC, I listen to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday." And there's so many Miss Elaines out there who listen to Radio Cayman because it is your favorite radio station. It has been around longer than any other radio station in the Cayman Islands for 50 years. And for all of you, Miss Elaines out there, we want to thank you. Thank you so much for supporting your radio station. There are some who believe that Radio Cayman and our talk shows are in competition with them, but we don't have to compete with anyone simply because we provide you with what you want to hear. So again, thanks to all of you out there who support Radio Cayman, all of the Miss Elaines, all of the Lord Grahams out there as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, again, if the phone lines are open on every show, we have a beautiful radio voice, Miss Susan Watson, who is always there to take your calls. You can call us on a toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-3261. Let me give you a preview of what will be taking place on For the Record this morning, and we will be talking about internal Audit Awareness Month being celebrated here in the Cayman Islands. We will have the Director of Internal Audit along with some students in the studio with us after 8 o'clock news this morning. So looking forward to that. We're going to go to our phone lines now because we do have a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Who you think it was?
Who else? Who else?
Who else? How was your weekend, brother?
Good. And yours?
Yeah, good. I scooted up to the Brack chasing the Swankerban on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went up for the day and came back in the evening. Had a good little event up there. Laid on some tracks up there, man. I was putting it down, man.
Okay.
Swanker can get you moving. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now, there's this myth out there that people with Cayman status are have just as much privilege or have just as much rights and all that as me generational Caymanian 1796. But that now seems to be the case, OC, because in the law, it says that your status can be revoked for various reasons, right? So that means you're not as equal as I am because they cannot revoke my status on the island, or they cannot, without they send me in exile. And I don't think that's in the law that they can exile me. Right? So now, our friend Canova Watson, who been here, I think it would be from time he was 6 years old, 7, something of the sort, have now had, well, his status been, I think, revoked now over a year and a half. It just come into light to most people, but I knew that it was revoked quite some time when he failed to had make the appeal to the court. Right. So now it's final now. It's out there that his status have been revoked after being here for so many years. So now that the president have been set, I think we need to revisit other cases where people was convicted of various offenses that would violate their status here on island, because I think your existence on island must be for the best interest of the country. I think it might be something to say that somewhere. So I would like now to let's revisit all the other people who have got status either by the grant or a process, the right process. Let's revisit them and see who else violated the condition of them having or keeping, being able to keep their status. I know of a case where I would say my good friend, Honorable Dr. McField, was involved in when he was on the on that particular board, where someone was being released from the prison, OC, and the prison did their job by not just letting them go, releasing them, but notifying the border control, as you call them now, to escort them, to the airport. Like one of my friends saying, should have been gone there in cuffs to the door of the plane. But that's not the case. Apparently, border control felt it necessary to extend his stay by giving him what we call time. Give him time, and he took advantage of that by going and get married. What we call that a convenience of marriage or something, marriage of convenience, and quickly impregnate a Caymanian, and then plead his case as family. What is family?
Right to family life.
To family life or something. Yeah. So see, we talking of two sides of our mouth, the old people would say. So we need to draw the line on what's good for the goose should be good for the gander. And now that the president had been set with Canova, now we need to maybe revisit some of these other cases.
So this particular case that you are citing, where did the person, the individual who was being released from prison, have any previous right to remain or privilege to remain in the Cayman Islands? Did they have any connections, any previous connections with the island?
Apparently not, OC. Apparently, the prison did their part by notifying.
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is CBC there must have been some compelling reason.
No, what he writes that he was pleading, I think, happened after the fact. While he was on the extended time that border control gave him, that
sounds a little perplexing.
Yeah, well, that's how I understand it. I don't know if my good friend, how I could call him, or see, would he be my loaning friend, or I would be his loaning friend?
No. Well, it's usually amongst equals. So you learn. If you were a lawyer, then he would be your learned friend.
He would be my learning friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I tend to want to pretend that I'm a lawyer too. I poses as a lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah, So no, I'm just saying now that the president has been set, not
Yeah,
just that
yeah.
one particular case, see. I'm
No.
talking about all the other cases.
Yeah, I understand. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if time allows, go and look at the Caymanian Protection Law revised and look and see the grounds under which Caymanian status can be lost or can be revoked, as well.
Well,
Because
like I said, if my good friend is listening, maybe before you go to the news, maybe he could call in and enlighten us and could probably save you from that.
Yeah,
Hurt.
he may be limited.
Anyway.
He may be limited to what he can say simply because I believe he's still on an appeals tribunal.
Particular board that involves
so
that,
yes. So
but
he
could
would be
read out the law to us and tell us exactly where you're going to research too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I gotta jump off now in case he might be listening.
Okay. Take care, Lord Graham. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Yeah, let me tell you, no AC when I was a boy. I still remember just how good an ice cold Coca-Cola was.
The parties, the coolest moms and dads always had Coca-Cola or parties.
The sound when you pop the top, and the fizzle, and that, after that first sip.
Coca-Cola, from generation to generation, that ice cold bubbly. Coca-Cola, still a Cayman classic.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Looking to explore your future in Cayman's insurance industry? Join us at the Cayman Next Gen Insurance Forum on May 28th at the Marriott. This free event is designed for school leavers, university students, and early career Caymanians, with parents also welcome. Learn how the insurance and reinsurance industry works, hear from young professionals, and connect directly with people in the field. The event runs from 2:30 to 6 p.m. with refreshments provided. Register now at imac.ky or follow at iMac Cayman on Instagram for more information. Hosted by iMac, Circa, and CIIA.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going to go to the birthday shout-outs. We see here that Mr. Malcolm Eden is celebrating his birthday today. Also, Mr. Archie Whitaker celebrating a birthday today. Tomorrow, Miss Morna Lawrence will be celebrating her birthday along with Mr. Elio Solomon, Miss Jennifer Ebanks, Mr. Joey Jose Kurtzman Jr., as well as Patrick Gale, Mr. Patrick Gale. They will all be celebrating their birthdays tomorrow. And we have a few birthdays here as well. The WhatsApp messages that have been sent in. This one says, "Good morning. Sending birthday greetings to my cousin Morna Lawrence, who will be celebrating her 68th birthday tomorrow." So I did mention that one earlier, but nothing wrong with Miss Morna getting a second shout out as well. We also have a correction radio station, the oldest radio station, ICCI FM, not Radio Cayman. And I was aware, of that, as well, but should have made the exception. But there's a little, yes, ICCI was the first radio station to broadcast, I can say, first and only government radio station, Radio Cayman. But I agree with you. I certainly agree with you there. Let's look at all of the other requests here. This person says, let's find their message. Don't see anything there on that. This, we do have another question about what about the kidnappers? Not too sure. Yeah. Oh, yes. I know what they're talking about. That goes way back as well. We do have a caller on WhatsApp. Let's grab that caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Okay. I hope you enjoyed your Mother's Day yesterday.
Yeah, even though I'm not a mother, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Some men are mothers too, because they play a role.
Yes.
I just want to say that yesterday, Miss Susan Watson tore up the place. I don't know where she found those music, but let me tell you, man, from morning, also Mr. Paul, on Saturday morning, they put down some beautiful music, and I want to congratulate both of them, because when it comes to music, you can't go anywhere else and find it better than Radio Cayman. So that's all I want to say this morning. Congratulations to both of them. But yesterday, Susan was on in the morning, and then she came back on in the afternoon. So I want to just big her up.
Yes, I heard about it as well.
Saturday as well. Yes, man. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, caller. You do the same as well. We've also been asked to send out happy birthday greetings to Marion Kelly Peterson, who celebrates her birthday today, the 11th of May, coming from your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, family, and friends. That is to Miss Marion Kelly Peterson, who's celebrating her birthday today. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us right here on For the Record, and we will certainly give them a birthday shout out as well. Let's look and see what's in our headline news. If I can get this. There we go. Let's see what's in our headline news. In our local news this morning. Gotta find it. Here we go. Cayman Compass. Some of the headlines on there. Life after prison. The biggest concern is acceptance in our community. Life after prison. ESO report shows falling work permits amid mixed economic growth. Work permits fallen. Okay, that's interesting. I hope they got their figures or correct. I hope they're all lined up with, or I guess they would rely on the information coming from work in relation to that. Yeah, we can take a quick call before we go. Let me just cover all of the headlines here. Foreign Office issues travel warning to Brits traveling to Jamaica. CIBC Caribbean, they're saying that Iran war to hit the Caribbean economies in 2026, and the Ombudsman orders release of legal aid spending in court case. Let's go to our caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor, and very pleasant good morning to you. I know it's getting to be the news time.
You have about 4 minutes. You have about 4 minutes.
I am going to make this real quick. Miss Mary Lawrence also celebrated a birthday, I think, last week. And I'm going to disclose her age because she told us in church yesterday she was 86.
Wow.
And I mean, that is 86 young.
Yes.
And I was so touched by her message yesterday that she preached in the Church of God Chapel. It brought back so many memories of our days. When I say our days, that's me and you age. So, I mean, it was so touching. And I also heard Brother James yesterday afternoon, Brother James Arch, on his radio station, mostly preaching about the same thing. And I am trying to tell the listening audience of Radio Cayman if they could kind of tune in. I know they're recorded, so I would really appreciate what Mrs. Mary Lawrence said yesterday. I mean, she said when she came to Barton Town, there were three kind of people, poor, and poorest. And she said, you know, no one was poor, and that is where we went back to. I mean, you know how we all grew up. Just like what, and you know, I'm just hoping and praying that somehow you would be able to even pre-record her message on Radio Cayman sometime for the listening public to hear what she said. It brought back so many good days of the Cayman Islands, the days that both me and you enjoyed. So thank you for listening.
Question before you go. So was it recorded in the church? Does the church have a recording of her sermon?
I think they do. Okay. I think they do. But it is worth people listening. You know, we don't know where we came. Well, I know where I came from, and you know where you came from. But a lot of people here really don't know what we came from, where we came from. So I was just hoping and praying that, you know, sometime maybe you can get it and record it for something. I don't know. Maybe take a little. It shouldn't take no longer than probably an hour or so. But anyway.
And that's Church of God Chapel in Barton Town.
On Walker. Yes.
On Walker's Road.
Yes.
Which one?
Yes.
Okay. Got you.
All right. Well, thank you for.
Thank you. All the best to you and your family as well. Give my regards to everyone, and we know that you're always listening in. And whenever you find the need to call in, you call in, and we welcome you listening, and we welcome you calling in as well. Have a great day, and hope you had a great Mother's Day yesterday.
Of course I did. I started off in church, so that was a blessing.
Yes.
What better way?
Yeah, that is so true.
And I got an extra blessing from the preaching.
Oh, great. Excellent. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. One more birthday greeting before we go to our 8 o'clock news. This person says, please send out birthday greetings to my sister, Julia Mitchell Downs, who is celebrating her birthday today, praying that the Lord will continue to bless her. So, Miss Julia Mitchell Downs, happy birthday to you. And this is coming from your sister, but also from right here at Radio Cayman as well. With that, folks, we've reached the top of the hour, the 8 o'clock news. When we return, we should have in the studio with us the Director of Internal Audit, and we will be talking Internal Audit Awareness Month here in the Cayman Islands. Don't change that dial. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Government is putting together a, quote, detailed policy designed to set up a baby bond program to support the next generation of Caymanians on their retirement. The announcement was made in response to a private member's motion tabled by Boddentown MP Dwayne Seymour, asking for government to consider setting up a newborn investment sovereign fund for Caymanian children born after January 1st next year.
What this motion proposes for the Cayman Islands is practical, measured, and achievable. It would provide a one-time initial contribution of $5,000. That sum would not be simply given out and spent. It would be placed in a structured, professionally managed sovereign investment vehicle. There would be proper oversight. There would be proper rules ensuring that access to the funds and maturity is restricted to approved life-enhancing purposes such as education, vocational training, first home ownership, entrepreneurial ventures, and long-term savings.
And while the NCFC administration agrees with the program in principle, it says it'll take a modified approach to moving the program forward as a retirement-focused Caymanian baby bond, with no provisions for early withdrawal. Finance Minister the Honourable Rolston Anglin.
Early withdrawal turns a powerful retirement asset into a short-term consumption tool with limited economic impact. We need to ensure that there's a strong governance structure. This would include a statutory prohibition on any early withdrawals. This cannot be something that we then decide, we're going to stick it in the bank and hope for the best. This has to be professionally managed. We must have transparent annual return reporting, and we must have clear investment mandates. This is serious stuff, colleagues. This is serious stuff.
Analysis by the Economics and Statistics Office concluded the Caymanian baby bond model leverages the longest possible investment horizon in public finance, 60 to 65 years, allowing, quote, relatively modest contributions to grow into substantial assets through compound returns. For example, a $2,500 investment at birth could grow to more than $200,000 at a 7% return over 65 years.
A retirement-focused baby bond is the most equitable, fiscally responsible, and impactful version of the proposed program. It protects public finances, strengthens long-term retirement outcomes, and ensures that every Caymanian child would enter old age with a meaningful asset. With strong governance, long-term political commitment, and a reindexing mechanism, the baby bond can become a cornerstone of Cayman's social policy for generations to come.
Government's policy design will include determining appropriate contribution levels, eligibility requirements, governance structures, and mechanisms to, quote, maintain the real value of investments over time. Customs busts a drug shipment. The Customs and Border Control Services says it intercepted a, quote, significant quantity of suspected ganja concealed within an imported shipment arriving in Grand Cayman. CBC officers identified an imported package as suspicious during routine screening procedures on April 23rd, leading officers to do a physical examination during which they found 30 pounds worth of packages containing vegetables suspected to be ganja. CBC says 3 people have been arrested in connection with the matter while the investigation continues. Serious injuries are reported after a 2-vehicle crash involving a micromobility device. On Saturday, police officers were sent to West Bay Road near the 4-way junction of West Church Street around 2 a.m. It was reported that a micromobility device was traveling south along West Bay Road when it hit another vehicle traveling in the opposite direction, causing that vehicle to overturn. The rider was transported by ambulance to the Georgetown Hospital for treatment. His injuries are believed to be serious. However, he's currently in stable condition. Both vehicles had extensive damage. Officers spoke with the driver of the motor vehicle, who was administered a breathalyzer test, which proved negative. The driver declined medical attention. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Emily Thomas. Iran's foreign ministry says Tehran's proposal to end the current conflict and reopen the Strait of Hormuz is responsible and generous, after accusing Washington of unreasonable demands. Uncertainty over the peace process has sent oil prices higher. BBC News with Emily Thomas.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio. For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. Brought to you by UHealth International, University of Miami Health System. International patients go to UHealth International for consultations with renowned physicians, advanced treatment technologies, leading-edge medical therapies, and state-of-the-art surgical procedures. Whatever your particular reason for going to UHealth International, you will receive customized medical care delivered within a compassionate, multicultural setting. The care you need when you need it.
Yo, what you saying? This is Emilito, local Keyman artist. I want to give a big shout out and congratulations to Radio Keyman on their 50th anniversary. Growing up, Radio Keyman really opened my ears to so many different styles of music and inspired my journey as an artist. Back when I was part of CBR and DLS, they gave us a platform to be heard and grow, especially through shows like Local Sound Nation and people like Will Sinatra supporting local talent. Much respect and appreciation. Wishing you many more years to come.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 79%. The barometric pressure is 29.99 inches and rising. The winds are calm. Overnight low temperature was 78 degrees. Synopsis indicate the pressure gradient over the northwest Caribbean is expected to weaken today as a frontal boundary begins to drift over the Gulf of Mexico, supporting light and variable winds along with slight seas for the Cayman area by the end of today. This decrease in winds will also increase the chance for some localized showers during the afternoon. Satellite imagery shows some scattered convection drifting off of Cuba and towards the Cayman area. Now, the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise to the low 90s with a heat index near 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots, becoming light and variable by the late afternoon, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tonight, we can expect partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of nighttime showers and temperatures falling to the upper 70s tonight. Your winds will be light and variable, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Today's low tide will be this morning at 11:54, high tide again this evening at 6:19. The sun will set this evening at 6:50 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:52. And the outlook is calling for light and variable winds expected to continue for the next few days as the frontal boundaries slowly become stationary north of Cuba by tomorrow evening. Elevated moisture brought by the front will linger nearby, allowing for some isolated showers at times, especially during the afternoon periods. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
If you have an objection to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your...
Don't do it, Tevin! I still love you. I have since the day we stole your mom's car and got matching dolphin tattoos.
Oh, Lordy. Janelle? From spring break, oh wait?
Yes, it's me.
Janelle, you've got to move on.
We're like the wedding guest that doesn't ruin the ceremony. CG Britcade. Good like that.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Attention Georgetown residents. The Department of Environmental Health Georgetown bulk waste collection will take place between May 11th to 16th. This bulk waste collection will replace the traditional year-end collection. Household appliances, furniture, and other items too large to be handled by the weekly DEH collection crews should be placed by the roadside where it is easily accessible to DEH collection crews. Metals and vegetation should also be separated from other bulk items. Do not obstruct the roadway or storm drains or place tires, construction, and demolition waste, hazardous materials, or electronics. For more information on the Georgetown bulk waste collection from May 11th to 16th, please contact DEH's Solid Waste Management section at 949-6696.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning again. This time we check in with traffic, see what's slowing and what's flowing. Further up on Shamrock Road, moving at a moderate pace. Further down, a steady but flowing traffic as you approach the Linford Pearson Highway, but nothing to worry about too much. Different story on Crew Road as traffic is slow moving, heading to the Georgetown area and heading east on Crew Road. Traffic is light to moderate and traffic flowing at a moderate pace in both directions on Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue. Steady but flowing traffic on North Sound Road. Industrial Park area moving at a moderate pace. If you've seen any accidents, let us know by calling us at 949-6990. Coming from the Westway 4-way stop, flowing at a moderate pace. That's what's happening on your roads, but before we go, coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, steady traffic and continuing on to Hunter Avenue. And the usual traffic flow on Walker's Road heading towards the Georgetown area. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Remember, click it or ticket.
Start your year off right with Subway's Fresh Fit menu. 4 protein-packed subs with 20 grams or more protein, under 500 calories, and loaded with full servings of crisp veggies on hearty multi-grain bread. Try the grilled chicken and avocado, the ham and turkey stacker, the seasoned steak and avocado, or the turkey and ranch delight. Big flavor, plenty of protein, and fresh veggies in every bite. Fuel your day the Fresh Fit way. Only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Healthcare Pharmacy, caring about your health for the past 25 years. Radio Cayman's premier health show.
Alzheimer's and dementia, are they the same disorder?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Is heard on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor, where they care about your health. Transfer and refill your prescription online. Visit healthcarepharmacy.ky or call 947-8900. Healthcare Pharmacy, now with a second location in Governor's Square. Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health.
The 7:20 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is brought to you by Credit Union, on the road to 50 years of serving our members. Visit creditunion.ky to join today.
Cayman Art Week is back and bigger than ever, with art on show at over 50 venues across all 3 islands from Tuesday the 26th to Sunday the 31st of May. From one-off pop-ups and creative collaborations to open studios and late-night gallery hours, all events are free and there's art on sale for every budget. Join a guided bus tour or visit at your own pace. You'll find everything you need to know at CaymanArtWeek.com.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're not quite ready for our guests in the studio yet, so we're going to we'll open up the phone lines in the meantime if there's something that any of our listeners out there want to talk about. One of the stories that piqued my interest was the headline in the Cayman Compass. ESO, that is the Economic and Statistics Office, report shows falling work permits amid mixed economic growth. Starts by pointing out that the third quarter economic report of 2025, that would be the third quarter, released by Cayman's Economics and Statistics Office on the 8th of May, so we're looking backwards, showed a drop in work permits despite a growing economy. Very interesting connection there. So we have a growing economy, but a drop in work permits. The article then points out that there were 36,425 work permits active as of the 30th of September, down from 37,418. So that is what, 1,007, down by 1,007. That were active on the 30th of June, 2025, and also down from 36,602 work permits recorded at the end of 2024. The latest data indicates that 2025 would be the first year to see a decline in work permits since 2020, when the pandemic saw a dramatic exodus of international workers. It may also be an early sign that the immigration rhetoric of the National Coalition for Caymanians government, which assured control in May of 2025, is being implemented. Okay, let's look at that sentence there for a minute. They speak, and I'm not defending anyone. I'm not siding with any particular, government, because you've heard on here, I've been labeled as, so you're defending the government. You're supporting the government now. Of course, I didn't take that to heart, because those of you who know me know that I try to be as balanced as possible, and it has nothing, really, absolutely nothing to do with OC Orrett Corner. It has nothing to do with me at all. So it says it may also be an early sign that the immigration rhetoric of the National Coalition for Cayman government, which assumed control in May of 2025, is being implemented. Why use rhetoric? Why not say that their promise, the promise of the NCFC government, as opposed to rhetoric? And very quickly, no, I can't do it now, but we will look and see exactly what the dictionary speaks to when we talk about rhetoric. So we're going to go to a commercial break, but in a minute. But let's look and see rhetoric. Rhetoric. What does it mean? Rhetoric is the art of using language, spoken, written, or visual, to effectively persuade, inform, or motivate an audience. I believe that what was said was done more, not just simply to persuade. It may have been more to inform or motivate, not necessarily motivate an audience as well. It was a promise that was made by politicians in terms of that they were going to address the immigration situation, and they were going to ensure that Caymanians got what they rightfully should have in the Cayman Islands. So that is what they believe there. I'm going to share one more paragraph with you, and I have to go, and I want to give the also the author of this, the writer of this article, credit for it as well. It says, however, some discrepancy remains between different statistics publicly available, with workforce opportunities and residents of Cayman showing a higher number. There has always been a disparity between the ESO data and the work data, said immigration expert Nick Joseph. I would say, based on my knowledge, that the work data would be the more reliable data because they are the ones with the database. They know how many temporary work permits are issued. They know how many work permits are issued as well. They know when work permits are canceled. They know when those work permit holders leave the jurisdiction as well. So I would say rely on the work, WORC statistics as well. So this was an article written by Mr. James Mackenzie. If you want to know more about it, just go onto the Compass website and you can find that article. ESO report shows falling work permit amid mixed economic growth. With that, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
This is Home Center. We can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. This segment, and it will be for the entire show right up until 10 o'clock, we will be talking about Internal Awareness Month here in the Cayman Islands, the month of May. It highlights that this month is dedicated to promoting the profession. It is supported both by the governor and the deputy governor as well. So I'm going to have my guests in the studio, and we will be alternating guests in and out during the course of the show. And I'm going to have each of my panelists introduce themselves to our audience. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Thank you, O.C.
Okay, and we'll start with you, Mr. Paget.
Certainly. I'm Nathan Paget. I'm the Director of Internal Audit for the Cayman Islands Government, but I'm also, for present, the President of the IIA Cayman Islands Chapter. So really appreciate this opportunity to discuss the profession and what Audit Awareness Month means, not just for the Cayman Islands, but the profession as a whole and for the future generations of auditors across the Cayman Islands. So thank you for having us here today.
Okay, young lady.
Good morning. My name is Letitia Rich. I'm currently a legal secretary. I got into the internal audit as a course at my university at UCCI.
Okay. Before we go on to the what piqued your interest? What made you have an interest then in internal audit?
It was suggested to me by the dean, Dr. Belinda Blessett, and it got my curiosity because I was not sure what internal audit was, and it actually, looking into the internal audit, is quite interesting because it's not what everyone thinks it is.
Okay. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. My name is Latanya Atkinson, and I am an junior internal audit from the CIG, working at CIG. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you do at internal audit? What is your role?
So I'm a junior over there. I just started in January, so I just help out my seniors and learn along the way. And I'm also preparing for my CIA exam. So yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Okay, excellent. So, Mr. Paget, let's talk about the theme of internal audit.
Certainly. And again, as Latasha pointed out, I think with internal audit, most people don't understand that it's slightly different from external audit. Mm-hmm. And there's been a challenge, I think, in the time I've been in the Cayman Islands to try and encourage the next generation of auditor across the islands and to train and develop Caymanian people to get the skills so that when internal audit vacancies arise, they're well placed to be able to apply and succeed. So the initiatives we've talked here about today with both Latanya and Latasha, it kind of highlights the work that we've been doing. When we advertised for internal auditors, we found that the local talent wasn't there for us to recruit. So we had a decision point. So from a CIG perspective, we decided that what we would do is recruit people with an associate degree and train them professionally, giving them both the experience of doing internal audits, but also putting them through the professional qualification. And in order to keep that talent pipeline in place across the island, is work with UCCI to develop courses in internal audit. And that's where Latasha and others have joined and signed up. The aim of this month, beyond those initiatives, is to really raise awareness around the profession. 70 to 80% of the world's offshore banking is done through the Cayman Islands. And the banking sector is becoming more alive to the need for a good internal audit function. External audit is a role that is already well understood across the island. Lots of accountants, lots of arrangements. And they look at the kind of financial figures at the year end. What we're interested in is the systems and processes, the operations that result in those figures. So our role is very much that systems view, whether it be IT, whether it be financial, whether it be governance, but really anchored in risk management. And I think that's one of the themes that we've got coming across this month, is that we are looking to that next generation of auditor. The ladies here today and the others will speak to are a testimony to that. But it's really about making sure that what we do is forward thinking, is more foresight based rather than hindsight based. Moving away from that position of being a compliance tick box role, which it still can be, and there's still relevance for that, but to one that really adds strategic value, that looks ahead, considers risks, and then assures that we've got the right arrangements in place to manage those risks. So this month is really showcasing 4 key areas for us. This week, or the week just closing, has been on cybersecurity, data and AI. The week coming up is on fraud and data analytics. We've then got a week on governance, risk and control, our bread and butter in terms of what we do. And then the final week is around quality assurance of the service that we deliver as a profession. So I think over the week, there's an opportunity for people to either check in on our LinkedIn page, get involved in the webinars, the posts that we're putting out there, to get an understanding of what it is that profession can offer. And even if you don't stay with internal audit, I know from my time there are many transferable skills that you can take to other professions. So hopefully, check us out, check out the UCCI course and get involved, because it's a great profession.
So for those who think that it has to do with number crunching, and you mentioned, all of the things that are involved in it, what do you say to those persons?
There's part of that.
Yes.
But what you really need to understand is that end-to-end actual process that's in operation. And when you look at that process, the skills that we provide the guys with are really around how you break that down and look for the key things that need to work well in order for that number crunching to be accurate at the end of the process. So we do a lot with data analytics. We are dabbling a lot more in AI, but also in that respect, part of our role is to assure AI. Lots of algorithms and activities are happening now in that space. And they are replacing some accountancy jobs, if I'm being truthful. My daughter is training to be an accountant bookkeeper, and she's already educating an AI in her firm that will replace her. There will still be a need for somebody to assure that the AI algorithm and process is working correctly, and internal audit has a role in that. So it's future-proofed as well. And one of the things that we're majoring on this month is some work that was done by the IIA Global, a professional body, which is Vision 2035. And it kind of forward looks at the role of internal audit over the next 10 years.
10 years.
And there's good future opportunities. So it's great that we can give this opportunity to Cayman people to get them engaged in a profession that has some future.
Okay, so let's hear from our other 2 panelists here. Ms. Rich, that is, right? Your main role now is as a secretary, I believe?
Yes, sir.
And tell us how you're progressing in terms of becoming an internal auditor.
Well, right now, currently, I am looking into doing my IPA, which is the sorry, I said it wrong. The IAP, which is the Internal Audit Practitioner's Exam.
Okay.
I actually have to reach out to Mr. Paget about that to see exactly how that is done. So it is something that I am considering. I haven't fully gone into the venture as yet, but it is something that I am looking into and maybe possibly doing.
And if you were to have any advice for your fellow students or other acquaintances, what would you say to them in terms of pursuing?
I would say dive in with all curiosity. It is a very interesting role. It is something that is very interesting in itself. If you're into something that will spark your curiosity, I would say to go into it.
Okay.
Right. So at first I thought internal audit would be just about paperwork and just crunching numbers. But when I actually got in, I learned it's so much more. It's like you learn about different areas and you get to meet different people. So you learn about IT, cybersecurity, and even emerging topics like AI. And also one thing that I love about it is that I get to work with like other seniors and they guide me and other things like that. And I also get to develop communication skills and be more diplomatic in how I talk and everything. So I really enjoy it.
And have you had the opportunity to sit down, with clients to go over your reports and their responses, to your findings and everything?
Yes, I have. Like plenty of times, and I always learn something, and I also always learn that the clients sometimes they can be more like, I would say, like defensive, but you have to be very, conscious of what you're saying and also like, communicate properly and, you found something and let them know that that's what you found and always communicate properly.
So, Mr. Paget, that brings us then to the shifting perception from quote unquote police to strategic advisor. Yeah. And I know as the head of a unit in government that during my tenure, and I won't age myself, but, a lot of times it was viewed as police. Yes. And then when you sat down and they explain to you and tell you, this is what we're trying to achieve, then you appreciate the role of being a strategic advisor as opposed to being a police.
Yeah, and that perception still exists, and like Latanya's just mentioned, what we are great at doing, I think, in terms of the development of our people, both on the course and with the juniors that we have in the team, is that for me, internal audit is a people business. If you can relate and communicate to people, then you can get them to buy into what you're trying to do, whether it be at that theory level or that actual level when it comes to findings and recommendations. But the way we're trying to turn things around in government and in line with the profession is that we align all the work that we now do to the strategic priorities of government. So the main driver for our assurance programme is the strategic policy statement. It is the civil service strategy. Yes. It's that consideration of risk. Within government now, we've got a maturing and a very good enterprise risk management arrangement. So all those lenses are what we use to identify our programme of work that we would look to do over the year. Now, how we do that programme of work depends very much on the chief officers. I have a lot of active engagement, great support from the chief officers and the deputy governor, to work with them in terms of those areas and that we've identified we believe assurance would be beneficial on. So if you look at the programme of work we have this year, government will spend a lot on major projects over the next 2 years. We are auditing and providing assurance on programme and project management. We've already talked about AI and cybersecurity. These are things that we need to exploit, but in a controlled way. So understanding the governance, arranging our kind of self across government to make sure that we manage the sensitive data that we deal with in a very controlled way, whilst maximising the opportunities that AI can offer. All these things are areas where we're now actively involved. So I think it's only through actions and then a demonstration of those actions that you really change that perception. We still have to do compliance work, so don't think that that goes away. Legally we have to under PSMA, the Public Finance Act. We do that. But what we try and do with those pieces of work is where we find things that are failing in the system is provide then insight across all the chief office areas to say, actually, if you're thinking about procurement, these are the must-dos. These are the challenges and the areas where you need to really focus your time and your thought processes. And we find that that's getting us to that stage of where we are being more trusted as a collaborative partner rather than a policeman. So those initiatives are not things that we've kind of come up with unilaterally within Cayman Islands government. These are happening in internal audit professions across the globe. And, the ladies, and you'll speak to Jesley in a bit, they're getting an exposure to that for the first time, but they're already identifying there's so much it can offer and so much that can be transferred to other professions. So I actually think, again, this is a great time to get involved in the profession.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned procurement, and it would be, or maybe not be surprising, how many government departments, despite the fact that the legislation is there, may err in carrying out their procurement procedures. We see it happen continuously.
And it does, and it's not just procurement. I think that people will try and do the best that they can do. And, there's lots of situations that we come across where people have gone through procurements with the best of intentions, but they've just not followed the correct procedures. Now, you then have to take a view on risk. There's a risk of non-compliance. But at the root of that is actually, are those individuals using the public money in the best possible way? Now, compliance enforces that. Risk is a consideration around that. But again, it's where that compliance and risk thing come together.
Yes.
And I think that although we may not always get procurements perfect, I think that the overriding risk that we're looking at in terms of use of the public money is something that we believe is still maintained. Can we get better at following procedure? Yes, we can. But I think we do a good job.
Okay, I see a point here that research shows that 50% of the profession feels that they're undervalued and misunderstood. Would that percentage in any way deter either of you from still wanting to progress and proceed, as far as internal audit is concerned? And if you had the opportunity, what would you do to try to dampen that perception that people that is out there?
I don't think it would hinder me from still pursuing. I feel like no matter what position you hold, some way you may feel unappreciated and undervalued. I feel like to dampen it, it's all about education. If people don't know, they won't understand. So I feel like once you put it out there what it is exactly, then and explain to them exactly what you're doing, then I'm sure they'll have a different perception.
Okay.
Well, I don't feel like we're undervalued. I actually feel valued. But as she said, it's all about education. As long as people get that different perspective that we're not all about like policing, then they probably will like us more. But I don't think, so in my opinion, I don't think that we're undervalued. Just need to educate them more and just let them see another side of us. It's not about like policing. We do a lot of things. We do advisory, assurance, and other ways to help them. We're here to help, not to like police them.
But do you think that the approach that you take in terms of your reporting or bringing to the attention of the particular entity that you're dealing with, that approach has a lot to do with that perception as well?
Well,
yeah, I mean, if an aggressive approach is taken, then people may feel, there goes the police.
I don't think we take we don't do aggressive approach. I don't think we do a very aggressive approach. In my experience, when we do like reporting, we always meet with the client before to discuss the matters. So that we like a closing meeting before we actually finalize on the engagement. So we actually give them a chance so we could discuss what's going on before we issue that. So I think there's room for discussion. So it's not very aggressive. So we could come to a common ground. So I don't think we do aggressive. We're very aggressive. We're very calm.
Mr. Paget, anything you want to add to that?
I would just support what the ladies have said. You know, it's this emphasis again on the profession being more around people skills.
Mm-hmm.
You know, auditors in the past have been very guilty of, this is my report, this is my finding, go away and do it.
Yes.
I think that we're in a space now where people are more educated in terms of what internal audit is about and clearer on what they want to achieve as a business. And the pressures of business are not going away. And therefore, we need to understand that. And as a profession, we pivoted to that people focus. So, you know, the guys that are going through the training in CIG are being trained in reporting, communication, presentation, negotiation, persuasion. These are skills that are really important to the modern day internal auditor, because you can't just find something and say, I'm right, go away and do it. The concept is to try and get the owner of the area of control or the system to claim ownership of the improvement actions that you're recommending. That's the real skill, and that's why we emphasise and spend a lot of time on that development within our juniors.
So this awareness month then will include bringing awareness to the client as well. How much will you see your clients being involved in this process?
Yeah, we are engaged. We engage with the clients continually. So what we do over this month is just an extension of what we've been doing, particularly in the Cayman Islands government. What we're trying to do on LinkedIn is to reach out to more organisations that have internal audit functions, because as much as we're doing a great job, I feel, within government, we've got to support the governor, we've got to support the deputy governor and the chief officers and the civil service as a whole. You know, I think they're getting behind the value that we can add, and if we can get that message across during this month, that would be fantastic, because it's really important that that starts to pervade other organisations and the Cayman Islands to give more opportunities to the future generation of internal audit.
Excellent, excellent. I think that's a good point for us to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or belly fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
We give you honor and praise, adoration and glory.
Radio Cayman.
Praise time.
Praise him, praise him. Come and let's praise the Lord. Come and let's praise the Lord. Praise him in the morning and in the evening. Oh, let's praise the Lord.
Praise time in the morning.
Praise him, praise him.
Weekdays 6 to 6:30 a.m.
Radio Cayman, waking you up.
Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite. Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite.
Praise time.
I know he cares. He'll always be there. Oh, yeah. Praise him, praise him, praise him.
Praise time.
Set your clock for 6 a.m. or you will miss it.
Hey fam, it's Korovaka Uta here, aka Grandstand, and I just wanted to wish the Radio Cayman family a big happy 50th anniversary. I've got some great memories of working at Radio Cayman from 2006 to 2011, and I really appreciate you all. So big love to the Radio Cayman staff and listeners.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about internal awareness month being celebrated here in the Cayman Islands. We have the Director of Internal Audit, Mr. Paget. We have Miss Leticia Rich, and Miss Latanya Atkinson in the studio with us as well. Later on, we're going to be joined by others in the studio. So, Mr. Paget, if a particular candidate comes with particular skills, let's say in the area of IT or in some other area as well, how advantageous is that, and are they able to fully utilize that particular skill set that they come with?
So it's a really good question, and the simple answer is yes. You know, across the internal audit team within the Cayman Islands government, we have a diverse mix of skills. We encourage everybody that comes, and they can be professionally qualified already. So we have accountants in the team, we have IT guys, we have HR people, we have project management skills. We encourage them all to still do the internal audit qualification, the CIA. But definitely, as I mentioned in the previous section, the way we put our plan together and our program requires us to look at, based on those, risk considerations around the strategic priorities, what are the areas that we're going to review, and then what are the skills that we need. Now, we can't always carry all the skills, depending on the size of your team. It may be a small team, but you still need those skills to remain professionally competent. Yes. So what we would do then is engage and buy those skills in, whether that be from the accounting firms or from individuals that we've got contact with and knowledge of over the years. It's kind of a combination of both. So the skill set is really important, but we do have many people that have come to the team from different backgrounds. And some are civil servants that have gravitated to audit through different departments that they've worked in historically. So yeah, the skill set is really important. Having a diverse skill set is crucial to delivering a professional audit service, internal audit service.
So can we talk about the qualifications, yes. What they are, and maybe Miss Atkinson, since she's now a team member and shadowing others as well. Tell us what you went through in terms of your qualifications.
So I have an associate degree in accounting, and I also have a bachelor's degree in accounting. So now I'm just doing the CIA, which is a certified internal auditor, which is 3 exams, part 1, part 2, and part 3. So I'm in the process of doing that so I could become CIA certified. And then afterwards, when I'm going to look around the team and see where it's needed, whether it's IT or accountancy, and then I'll move forward with probably like the CISA, which is Certified Information System Auditor, or like the CPA to help more in accounting audit engagements.
Well, we know, with the talent that you have and the talent that you will also acquire soon, that you will be a perfect target. You'll be a perfect target for the private sector. How does government keep her?
Well, it's an interesting point. One of the things, you're probably familiar with the People Engagement Survey across the civil service that we do every year.
Yes.
Now, one of the key things that came out of our survey 12 months ago was that the kind of pay and benefits wasn't as good as it could be. Now, we didn't have a magic money pot, that's going to give us extra salary that we can give everybody, but we felt that we needed to address it. So we went out across the island through the accounting firms and other internal audit teams and did a survey of, is our remuneration at the grades comparable? And actually, we are a very good employer in terms of what we offer by way of salary, the pension contribution, the health cover costs, all these factors, the annual leave that people take.
And the security of tenure to a certain extent. Yes.
And I think that when we looked at that, the indications were that we were paying our guys fairly, some generously. What validates that? I worked in the UK in internal audit for over 25 years. And there was many a time where I would develop trainees, people with the potential like Leticia and Latanya, and Sidia and Jesley that we'll speak to. And we would develop them, we would put them through the exams, and then the firms would come in and recruit them. And then they'd have the cheek to sell them back to us at twice the price. Now, here, the shoe's on the other foot. I'm going to the accounting firms, and I'm getting the good people there to join our team because we can compete. So in that respect, it's kind of, in a risk sense, it's a low-risk thing for me. But also, just to bring back to where it started with the engagement survey, once we did that, shared the results with our people, our engagement survey score on pay and benefits went up by 37 points.
Wow.
So I think sometimes people need the information to inform a judgment on whether am I being paid what I'm worth, am I being paid what's fair? And I found that once we gave them that information, it made a significant impact on morale in the team as well. So it was quite a good thing to do.
So, Ms. Rich, if you're not already on board, what will it take to get you fully on board in terms of becoming an internal auditor?
That's a good question. I really don't have an answer. I don't know. I feel like it has already been a push. From the time I started the course, my older sister said to me, well, maybe you should go into internal audit. Attending the conference, I was kind of pushed even more, listening to the speakers and listening to their advice and how they all started internal audit, which it wasn't even with qualifications. It was just like mostly with curiosity, going in and just seeing like, okay, this is what it's all about. I think I want to go into this. And hearing their stories, that some of them were so funny. They had people that were breaking into their own facilities to make sure that the procedures were working. And it's like, okay, that's something that I would do instead of sitting at a desk all day, being looking at paperwork, submitting paperwork. Yeah, I feel like internal audit is a bit more interesting,
Okay.
so to speak.
So we're coming almost close to the end of this segment. Since you have the mic already, Ms. Rich, want to give you an opportunity, for some closing comments, and again, any advice that you may have for family, friends. Well, you've already gotten advice from family, but there may be some other family members that you can convince, as well, in terms of the direction to go.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would say even to just get your associate's degree at UCCI, that's a big step. I'm in my last semester of getting my associate's degree, so I will be graduating this June.
Oh, congrats.
And then after that, if you want to continue, of course, do your bachelor's, as always encouraged. In order to get your qualifications for the internal audit, as Latanya was saying, there is an exam, a 3-part exam. So you have to do the first part, which is the IAP, the internal audit practitioner's exam. And then you also have to do your CIA, which is 2 parts. That is the certified internal audit qualification. And there are online courses online practice that you can get for that.
Great.
Yeah.
Ms. Atkinson.
For me, I would just say I have a lot of peers that we did accounting together. They could also look into internal audit, not just external audit, because I know everybody, is drawn to external audit. So that's just, you look at the financial statements. We could come over to internal audit. We also do walkthroughs. We go to the clients. We learn a lot of things, different industries. So I think it's something that everybody should look at as well, not only just stick to the external audit. Internal audit has a lot to offer. And you could come over here at the government and work for us, or you could go to private sector. They do that as well. So, yeah, that's my advice.
Okay, with that, we're going to go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. When we return, we will have other panelists in the studio along with Mr. Paget as well. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
This is the People's Radio Station. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With a few much-needed showers hitting Grand Cayman this morning, the National Weather Service says the end of April marked the end of the dry season. Temperatures clocked in at an average of 82 degrees for April with a max of 89.4. The total rainfall for April was less than 1/4 of an inch. The 30-year average is closer to 1.3 inches of rain in April. In international news, an American and a French national who have returned to their home countries having left a cruise ship hit by a deadly outbreak of hantavirus have tested positive. The U.S. Health Department said a second American national on the repatriation flight had also shown mild symptoms, adding that both passengers had traveled back in, quote, biocontainment units out of an abundance of caution. The health French minister said a woman was isolating in Paris and her health was deteriorating, with 22 contact cases traced. More than 90 passengers of the MV Hadia ship currently docked in Spain's Canary Islands are being repatriated. And a painting stolen from a Jewish art collector by the Nazis during World War II has been found in the home of descendants of a notorious Dutch SS collaborator. Portrait of a young girl by Dutch artist Toenkelder is believed to have been hung for decades in the home of Hendrik Seifert's family. It had belonged to a Jewish art dealer who died while fleeing the Nazi invasion of the Netherlands in 1940, leaving behind a collection of more than 1,000 paintings. The case was brought to an art detective's attention by a man who told him he was a descendant of the family and that he was, quote, disgusted to learn they'd kept the artwork for years. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Your Cayman Islands Health Services Authority has been the national healthcare provider of the Cayman Islands for many generations. We have elevated our level of care to ensure you, our patients, have the best possible experience. We offer better access to care close to home with the most locations on all 3 islands, delivering a full range of primary, secondary, tertiary, and emergency care. HSA is a JCI accredited organization, and we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we are talking about Internal Audit Awareness Month, the month of May. The month is dedicated to promoting the profession. It is supported by both the governor and the deputy. We have in the studio with us the Director of Internal Audit, Mr. Paget. We have now been joined by Miss Chelsea Range. Did I get that right? Chelsea Range. Yes. She's an intern at Internal Audit, and Miss Cydia Hides, who is an Internal Audit Junior as well. Ladies, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Okay, and we'll start with you, Miss Hyde. Tell us about your journey.
So my journey so far has been wonderful, thanks to my wonderful director, Mr. Nathan. His office is always open. I could always go in there and talk to him. He's very patient. He explained everything to me. If he assigned me anything, I like stuff in writing, so I would go and ask him, Mr. Nathan, can you explain to me? My manager so far has been wonderful. I also had the opportunity to travel to Orlando to for the Global Student Conference for Internal Auditor, and it was a magnificent experience. I had the opportunity to meet and collaborate with different auditors, juniors also, who are on the journey as me trying to do the CIA. So my journey has been good so far.
And what prompted you to get into the field in the first place?
So at first, one of my classmates, John Wesley, I noticed when he comes to school, he has his shirt say audit, and I'm very curious. I like to ask questions. I like to know. So I was like, John, tell me about your job. And when he tell me, I was like, okay, that's interesting. And he's like, they have vacancy, you could apply. And I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and apply. And here I am today on my journey to do my CIA, which is a 3-part exam. I'm about to take the first part of it.
Okay, and how prepared are you for it? Looking forward to it?
So
do you get the jitters when it comes to exam time?
So I'm a master's student now at the UCCI. I don't really get jitters, no, but I with regards to the CIA Part 1, which I intend to do the IAP, which is the Internal Auditor Practitioner, just because I like certificate, as my director would say. Because either way, I would still have to do the 3 parts, but to do the Part 1 and then I get the IAP, that would be, I would have that against my name until I get the next 2 parts. So I'm very much looking forward to have that done.
Okay, Ms. Rains, tell us about your journey.
Well, I'm doing my associate degree in UCCI as an accountant, and then I got the opportunity to join the team as an intern. And in the beginning, when I chose the internal audit course, it was just for curiosity. Because actually internal audit is not something that is too known here in the island. Because I'm going to be so honest, in the beginning, when they speak about internal audit, for me, it was checking numbers or something. But then when I was more involved in the class, I realized how that really works. So it's completely different be an accountant and then being the other side as a, auditor.
And you like the auditing, internal auditing part of it because it isn't just restricted to accounting.
Yeah, auditing is more it's different than accounting. Accounting is it's interesting for sure, but it's more repetitive. And I have asked, and it's in every case that they have is different. Every time is different, so it's something that you can try, and so interesting.
Excellent. So, Mr. Paget, we keep hearing about this conference. Tell us about this conference.
Yeah, so once a year, the IIA hosts a global student conference and a global leadership conference in Orlando. The IIA is in over, around about 200 countries across the world. And the conference is the opportunity for students and leaders across the world to come together, share experiences, learn from each other's experiences, and to gain knowledge on the latest thoughts around the profession and the direction of travel. So it was great that the Cayman Islands, again, last year we sent one student and we sent an educator who supports the courses at UCCI. This year we were able to send 2 students and an educator, and I also went along. So that conference, I think, as Sidia has said, is a great opportunity to just see actually how the profession, which is quite small on island, is a global profession, and the qualification that you will gain is a global qualification, and the opportunities then are endless. In terms of whether you stay with the profession or move into other spheres. So the conference itself, over 3 days, there's a bit of networking as you would expect, but there's lots of good lessons, not just around technical things and aspects of internal audit, but around kind of the things that ground you, mindfulness, well-being, thoughts and how you gather your thoughts in a very confused and sometimes, high-pressure environment, which is what internal audit can be. So, as you've heard from Cydia, I think the people that have gone, and she mentioned John as well. John Wesley's moved on now to do accountancy. So John's left internal audit.
I believe we had him on the show at one point in time.
That's right. He was here last time round.
Yes.
But John was even nominated for. He won the Chief Officers Award and he won the DG's Award recognition for the month, and he was up, for the main one. So John's gone on with his skills from internal audit and moved into another sphere of government, which is great because, we can't always keep the good people that we have. But what we can do is make sure that when they go with more skills and they go to better opportunities. John went on promotion. He took his audit skills with him, and the benefit for us is stayed within government. So he then takes his knowledge of how internal audit works into his new areas of responsibility. So all that opportunity coming to these islands, I think, is massive for the profession. And I think the more people we can encourage to at least, test out, have the curiosity to see what the profession is about, will be guaranteed not just a profession that offers them a career, but something that gives them variety and challenges them in different ways.
Okay, I'm going to go off script a little bit. This just flashed into my head. If you were performing an internal audit of Radio Cayman at this point in time, the studio, the shows, and what are some of the things that you would be looking for?
I was going to let go on, Cydia.
So that's a difficult one because first I would need to, based on what I've learned so far as a junior auditor, we would need to see, let's see, sorry.
Would our mission statement help in any way in terms of what it is we're trying to achieve?
So I would basically need to see your mission statements. I would need to see your target audience. Sorry, let's ask my director to help me out a bit.
So she's on the right
Yes.
It starts from that, why does Radio Cayman exist?
Yeah.
And then underneath that, what are the objectives that are showing you're moving towards that mission that you're trying to achieve? And then when we look at the objectives, traditionally, audit would always then focus on the objectives, and to some extent we do, but at that stage we would take a view on risk. And we would look at, in relation to the objectives of Radio Cayman, where are the areas of greatest risk? Now, we don't do that in isolation. This is why collaboration is really important. We do that with people of Radio Cayman. They know the business better than we know the business. And that collaboration would then allow us to look at the areas of greatest risk and provide assurance in those areas. Where the audit skill comes in beyond that is to design tests to test that assurance, to test those risks are being managed. And then, based on what we find, have the discussion around how best then to implement and improve. But again, the internal auditor is not an expert in Radio Cayman. They bring to it a structure, a rigour, experience of governance, risk management and control, and they can guide. But the key thing at that stage would be for the guys in Radio Cayman to own the actions, to own the improvement, because what we do know as a profession is if you take ownership of the actions, the recommendations, they're more likely to be implemented successfully. And that's what we're after, is a successful outcome from the work.
Excellent. Ms. Range, anything you want to add to that in terms of your observations and what you learned so far as an intern?
Yeah, so my knowledge is so basic. But yeah, as he said, the objective, like what you want to achieve, we help you to do that. Because at the end, we look for the companies to work more effectively and transparency. And even in Radio Cayman, that is more to the public. They have to be to transparency. Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we take the commercial break now before I go to my next question, Ms. Susan? So when we return, we want to talk about the role of technology. And now AI is the big thing. My interest in that area now is looking at the good looking at the bad as far as AI is concerned, because we don't want to put one label on it. It is quite obvious that it can be beneficial in many ways, but like everything else, it can, you can have some bad actors out there and use it for the wrong reason as well. But we'll talk about the role of technology, folks. For those of you who are just joining us, we have Miss Chelsea Range, who is an intern at Internal Audit. We have Miss Cydia Hides, who's a Internal Audit Auditor Junior, and we have Mr. Drawing a blank on your last name now.
Nathan Paget.
Mr. Paget, who is the Director of Internal Audit. So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Congratulations to Radio Cayman on 50 remarkable years of service to the Cayman Islands. This milestone is not just a celebration of broadcasting, it's a celebration of trust, resilience, and unwavering commitment to our community. Congratulations on 50 years of excellence. Thank you for your service, and thank you for being Cayman's voice, strength, and steady presence. Radio Cayman will always be my number one.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning the Director of Internal Audit, Mr. Nathan Paget. Also in the studio with me, Ms. Cydia Hides, who is an Internal Auditor, Junior Internal Auditor, and Ms. Chelsea Range, who is an intern as well. We're talking about Internal Audit Awareness Month, the month of May 2026. This month is dedicated to promoting the professions. It's supported by both the governor and the deputy governor as well. The theme as well, I got to find that on here. Mr. Paget, I need your help right there for that.
It's basically the next generation
Yes.
of auditors, so the evolution of audit up to 2035 over the next 10 years.
And the vision for 2035 is creating our future together as well. So let's talk about technology.
Technology, yeah. So from the work that's been done by the IA Global, it's clear that, most of the professions, roughly 97%, agree that new technology increases the volume and the complexity of the work that internal audit does with things like AI. But as well, probably 92% roughly agree that technology is something that we should be using to enable the value that we can add to our organisations. And it's how we strike that balance, both as a profession, but in the work that we deliver and the AI or the data or digital areas that we review. Quite how we strike that balance is really to start at that fundamental level of the controls that make sense in terms of the governance, the oversight. So take AI. AI is a new technology, say new, it's been around since 1959, somebody told me the other day.
Yes.
Which shocked me. But in terms of how it's being used on a widespread scale now, it's clear that lots of people are using it for good reasons and good intentions. But the crucial thing that I think gets lost in the way that we use AI is that it is an open source data. So any data that you put into an AI, unless it's in a protected cloud, actually goes in and onto the internet. So that's why, for me, having a framework that clearly determines the way in which you should use AI and the types of AI that you should use, and considerations around the AIs themselves in terms of where they're hosted, where the data's hosted, things of that nature are crucial things that we need to be visible on. There's a challenge, I think, with AI, is that the convenience of it allows people to just move forward with it. I do believe that you should move forward with it, but you should be considering the impacts of what will happen with the data that you put into it. Now, in an internal audit context, we use it from time to time to support our presentations. We may use it to kind of rationalize the grammar in our reports. There are things that we can do and use. But I think with the risks with AI as opposed to the benefits, it's around striking the right balance. And the great thing about Cayman Islands government at the moment is that they are moving forward with a very considered framework around how AI and how data privacy should be maintained in an AI kind of organization, which is great. And I think as we move forward as a government, it helps to move the country forward. And if we can move forward in a controlled and structured way, it gives confidence not just to the people of the Cayman Islands, but the industries that sit and exist within the Cayman Islands, which is an important part of the business of the island. So technology, yes. The role of internal audit going forward, AI will replace some jobs. I talked previously around where my daughter's already as a bookmaker, bookkeeper, her job is kind of slowly being eroded by AI that validates receipts and posts to the accounts. It's there, it's happening. But somebody will still need to assure that behind the AI, the algorithm that's running and the answers it's coming up with are correct and accurate. And internal audit will have a role in that kind of environment, as well as the security role around the IT itself. So the future's good.
And would you also have a role in determining whether or not we have sufficient legislation in place to address artificial intelligence and its use?
In truth, we would always start with best practice legislation as a basis for anything that we do. As Cydia mentioned with the Cayman Radio example, Radio Cayman example, start from what that mission is, what we want to achieve. So the Cayman Islands is exploiting AI in a positive way. But there are many, many mature legislations out there that we can use as a best practice or a benchmark. The EU put some very good guidance out on AI and the use of AI, and there are others. There are other frameworks that we can follow to make sure that as an island, we are in the best possible way. In terms of legislation, that's really for the politicians. The civil service can guide and advise, and we would have a role in that. But it's for the politicians of the day to decide. So it's kind of that collective. We inform the decision. We're not the decision makers.
Got you. So it is quite obvious that you have invested and you will continue to invest in the next generation of internal auditors as well. Let's talk more about that. Let's talk about some of the courses that are being offered, the UCCI internal audit courses. Let's discuss the specific training available on island to prepare students for the profession as well. And I think we will revert to Ms. Range and Ms. Hides to give us, some insight on those things, since you've both been one going through it, one has been through it and going through more of it as well.
Yeah. Sorry, I hear it myself.
That's okay.
So I Personally, I am doing my CIA. I haven't joined the UCCI internal audit course, so I'm doing the CIA with the study material from Becker, which is the best. I also had the opportunity to meet Becker lecturers at the conference and get some tips and tricks from him and how to study for the CIA. In terms of going to, I'm presently doing my master's at UCCI. I've been involved in the CIA, in the internal audit course that they're offering. So Ms. Giselle would be able to better answer what UCCI is offering in regards to the CIA, to internal audit course.
Well, I started with the principle of internal auditing, that it was the course that gave me this opportunity for the internship. So I think it's a good beginning because it gives you the basic, the concept, the how internal audit works, and understand the difference or the concept that we normally have. As I said, that in the beginning we can think that it's checking numbers, but it's completely different. It's more about risk, controls, and improving process. So that course in UCCI can give you the opportunity to confirm if that is the direction that you want to take or not. And then the opportunities that you never expect, for example, for me, the internship. So I really hope that in this internship help me to confirm the direction that I want to pursue in professionally.
So, Ms. Hayes, let's talk about your practical experiences that you've gained, within the Cayman Islands government.
So, as everyone else, I joined thinking like, okay, it more has to do with numbers, more have to do with searching numbers every day. No, my experience is beyond numbers. It involves communicating with other departments, understanding their roles. Basically, it helped improve the processes of the other department processing. Yeah, it's been a wonderful experience, and my role, I've been learning, collaborating.
How have you found the reception from those that you have been interacting with on the other side?
So far, I have found it to be good. They are more, because people outside would generally think that, okay, we're coming to attack them, we're coming to call them out on their wrong deeds. Now I see that when we go to them to understand what they're doing, their processes, because we can't attack if we can't attack. We can call you out on stuff we don't know about.
Yeah, we're here to help you.
Yes, we are here to help you. So we want to know what is it, how you do your work, what is it that you are doing before we can, say we implement stuff or we put stuff. Sorry, I don't think we implement, because we don't implement as an auditors. We monitor you, and we point you to the right direction based on what you're doing. Now, people are very open to us, and they are more receptive. They understand where we're coming from based on what they provide us. And we mostly do assurance and advising.
So, Mr. Paget, what's the consequence of non-compliance when an entity fails to follow the advice that you have given?
So, good question. So what we try and do is proactively manage that. So we talked about the Radio Cayman example, and we got to the stage of the recommendations. Once they're signed up to and owned, we track them, we monitor them. We send out a regular report to the chief officer in advance of the deadlines to say, guys, you need to be aware that this is coming up to deadline. Now that prompts action, but sometimes the action doesn't get there. So the first port of call is for me to reach out to the chief officer or the action owner and have a conversation. You know, at the time, in the Radio Cayman example, you agreed to decorate the studio. You didn't know of all these other things that then came up and other priorities. And then we've got a change in government and we've got other priorities. So we have to shift and we have to pivot. So when we have those conversations to extend deadlines, we can reconsider the risks and the challenges that are being faced. But we set the dates, and if the dates aren't being achieved, and we keep Deputy Governor regularly involved in this, so he will also speak with chief officers where he needs to. And then we have a regular report to into our Audit, Risk and Assurance Committee. I've actually got a meeting this morning with them where we go through the actions and the ones that we think need to progress. There's always a balance to be struck, I think, in terms of internal audit actions. I came into the team and inherited a lot of historic actions. And I think you have to look at them and say, well, actually, we haven't implemented them, but they were there to address a risk, and that risk hasn't materialised. So do we need to think again about whether these actions have been superseded by events, or actually the risk isn't there now, it's moved on and it's changed slightly? And do we still need to do them? Because part of the consideration for internal audit, it's not about just giving actions for the sake of actions. It's about giving the right actions on the right things and the root cause issues. So if we can get back to that principle, then we maximise the impact and benefit to government and reduce the time and the audit fatigue that they face. So it's kind of that combination of collaboration that we talked about quite a lot really comes together with the actions and the implementation.
Okay, so our panel, they will be leaving us in another 15 minutes or so. We're going to take a commercial break, and there are some key events taking place as well, you know, as far as events and community engagements as well. We want to talk about that because it's a whole month of activities going on as well. So if you want to know more about it, and maybe you may have an interest in internal audit. You may know someone that you may want to refer, a family member, a child, or whomever. You've heard that sometimes it isn't what you think that it is. So at least hear about it, and then you can form your own opinions once you know what it is all about. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have about 10, 11 minutes left to go because Mr. Paget has another engagement that he has to get to. You heard him speak about the fact that he will, has a meeting at 10 o'clock as well. So we're going to talk about the key events and community engagements taking place during this month, Mr. Paget.
Yeah, no, certainly. Thank you. So over the month, we've kind of got 4 theme weeks that we're working to. Mm-hmm. The first week, which ran from the 1st to the 8th of May, but we have a cyber event tomorrow on the 12th of May, was around cybersecurity, data and AI. We talked about technology and the impact. And I think in this high-risk world where things are interconnected in such a way, that's a really important subject. Mm-hmm. So, that's sponsored by PwC. We're able to provide all this training for free, so there's no charge.
Wow.
And that will be a really good session. We've got industry experts presenting, so please, it's a virtual event. Please come along. We've even opened that up to other IIA chapters within the region, because we think it's such value for all members across the region. So please feel free to engage with that. This week begins our theme week on fraud and data analytics, sponsored by KPMG, but also supported by the ACFE, the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. We'll talk a bit more about them with the event we've got later on the 17th of May. But this week we'll focus on anti-fraud activities, kind of issues that you can look for, red flags that you might see, things that might suggest to you that you need to look further as a manager and a leader, as well as an auditor and a fraud expert. So again, check out our LinkedIn page. We're regularly posted on there. KPMG will be posted on there. And there will be an event on the 20th of May where we come together again with industry experts to discuss. 15th to the 22nd of May, we've got the Risk Governance and Control Week, which is sponsored by EY. Again, we'll have subject matter experts. There'll be an event on the day, usually virtual, where we can talk through some of the challenges and some of the benefits of the profession and how we work. So on the 17th of May, really important to mention the 5K fun run that we're jointly doing with ACFE and IIA. I'll hold that up for the webcam. And really in dedication to the Honourable Franz Manderson, Deputy Governor, for his insightful and inspiring support that he's given not just to the profession but to the Internal Audit Service within government.
Great.
And because of his 5K runs, we thought this was a nod to that, to try and say
Yes.
to him, thank you, sir, for the support. So that's a really good event. Still register for that on the Run Caribbean website. $25 dollar entry fee, and you get a nice smart T-shirt to go with it. And then the final week, 22nd to the 29th, is focusing on quality. I know this is more aimed at the internal audit professionals. It's the quality of the service that we offer. The IIA global standards changed in 2025, and it's just making sure that arrangements and procedures are in place across the profession on Ireland. So it's a chance to reflect and refresh. And of course, throughout this, we are encouraging all people who have that curiosity for internal audit to get involved. So check out our LinkedIn page, IIA Chapter Cayman Islands. What I would say is, for anybody interested in student membership, it's free to join the IIA. You have to register with your email address. Once you do, you get access to a massive range of resources that will be useful for any of the courses that you're doing. not just courses on internal audit, lots of transferable things to other professions. The benefit for registering as well is that the money we get as a chapter to fund the activities that we do comes from sponsors. The key one being the IAA. But for every member that we have registered to the Cayman Islands chapter, we get additional funding. So please bear that in mind and support where you can.
So this would be directed more towards, is it school leavers or those entering
School leavers
in university?
Education, at university, those already in profession as well. You know, if they're studying other qualifications at night school, again, you know, please register. And finally, just to shout out for that final week on quality, Grant Thornton are supporting that. So we've had great support from the firms on island, which then allows us to run these training courses for free. So we can give back and hopefully add to the value in the education that the profession can give across the island. So a month packed with events based around week-to-week themes. And that we hope will give something back, not just to the Society of the Cayman Islands, but the profession and the future generation of auditors in the Cayman Islands.
Okay. Your call to action, what would that be in terms of, to persons out there? You already mentioned, some of it as well, but, what would you encourage our listeners to do?
To find us, reach out. And the only thing I would ask you to bring is an open mind. As we've heard from the ladies that have spoken this morning, you come to internal audit with a perception of numbers and figures, and that's part of it. Mm-hmm. But there's a much bigger part that I think is the real interest and the real challenge. I've stayed with this profession for over 30 years, and it's taken me from a council estate in Salford to the beautiful Cayman Islands. Now, you don't make that transition in many professions, but internal audit does open those doors. And I've audited all around the world, and as much as I may have a language barrier, the internal audit is always the same, because that global recognition for what we do is important and is increasing. And we just need to make certain we don't get left behind as an island.
Okay, Mrs. Range, we want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments.
Yeah, sure. I just want to say this to all the students. The hard work will be paying off. Please take every opportunity. They don't have to have everything figured out immediately, but if you stay consistent, you work hard, and you have an open mind, I promise that the door is going to be open.
Excellent. Ms. Hyde.
Yes, sir. So I want to tell everyone that is scared of internal auditors and people who want to be a part of it, that internal auditors also help to improve and manage risk. And we don't only offer finding, and there's, for every engagement that we carry out, there's opportunity to grow and improve professionally. And I would encourage everyone to be a part of the internal audit team and to be a part of our chapter and to get involved at UCCI so they could do the principle of internal auditing to get a basic understanding of what it is like and what to get into. And internal audit door is always open, so we are always recruiting people, and we're looking for Kimanian to come on board.
Mr. Paget. Closing comments.
Well, really just to thank you. You've been a great supporter of the Internal Audit Awareness Week over the years and the month over the time that I've been here. So I appreciate that. Thank you. I think it's a great opportunity, for any young Caymanian that wants a career, that may not know what their career is right now, and there's no reason why you should, but coming to internal audit, you will get so many skills that you can transfer to any profession that you decide in the future you wish to go to. You will gain a lot of knowledge. You will gain a lot of exposure. Members of my team will work with the Deputy Governor, the Governor, Chief Officers, as well as all the civil service. You can go from one day, counting the stocks in the hazard management response to discussing policy around the National Energy Programme. So the variety of what you get with internal audit is fantastic. In terms of the chapter, please support us. We like to give back to the community. We are doing through our education program at UCCI, but also we like to do things like the Fun Run and Walk, and there are other professional bodies on island that we're engaging with as well. So please support your profession, and thank you and others, particularly the Governor and the Deputy Governor, for the support that we've received as a chapter on the Cayman Islands.
And thank you as well, and thank you for the advice and the call to action for more Caymanians to get involved in it as well. We talk about the fact that we have a bright future here in the Cayman Islands, and it will give those who are interested an opportunity as per the vision of the 2035 mission, creating our future together. It gives everyone an opportunity to create that bright future that we have, to be involved in that, to do it all together as well. And like you've pointed out, there's so many transferable skills that that can be employed in the process, and the attractiveness out there either within government or within the private sector as well. So thanks again for all that you do, to our interns and to our Audit Junior. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors as well. And probably in the next few years, Awareness Month, we will have you in the studio in a different role, as well.
Future director.
Yes. So all the best. Folks, we're going to take our last commercial break. When we return, the phone lines will reopen for you. If you have anything that you want to discuss, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget, our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
Cayman Art Week is back and bigger than ever, with art on show at over 50 venues across all 3 islands from Tuesday the 26th to Sunday the 31st of May. From one-off pop-ups and creative collaborations to open studios and late-night gallery hours, all events are free and there's art on sale for every budget. Join a guided bus tour or visit at your own pace. You'll find everything you need to know at CaymanArtWeek.com.
This year, we're taking the Fet for a Cause one step further. Welcome to One Fet. Get ready for an unforgettable night featuring some of the top DJs on island, bringing you the ultimate vibe. From start to finish is pure vibes, good energy, and non-stop music. And the best part, 100% of the proceeds go towards supporting the Cayman Islands Cancer Society and autism acceptance. So this year, you're not just partying, you're partying with a purpose. It all kicks off Friday, May 22nd, 8 p.m. at Sandbar. Don't miss your chance to be a part of something bigger. Get your tickets now at theboxoffice.ky and get ready to take over the streets on Saturday, May 23rd with the Fet for Records family. One Fet, one vibe, one cause, one unforgettable experience. One Fet sponsors AI Rentals, CarQuest, Ace, Parker's, Coca-Cola, Tortuga, Stingray Media, Sandbar, Mike's Ice, Radio Cayman, Valvoline, and DNB Audio Technic.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. About 10 minutes to go in the show. So if you have something to say, if you have a question that you may have, not making any promises that we may have the answer to it, but we will certainly seek to have the answer to it as well. Please do so. You can call us on our toll-free number, provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990, WhatsApp number 925-3261. Please do not wait until it is about 2 minutes before 10 o'clock before you call in, because we won't be able to accommodate you at that time. Meanwhile, we know that we have a hurricane preparedness month as well, preparing for the upcoming hurricane season. So we see that last week, the Cayman Islands National Weather Service launched an upgraded website at www.weather.gov.ky. It delivers faster access to real-time weather data and improved severe weather warnings across the island. So that website again, folks, is www.weather.gov.ky. The upgraded platform introduces several key enhancements, including a dedicated warning page, which provides clear explanation of alert levels to assist the public in understanding what each warning means. What each warning means and how to respond. Detailed station data from across the islands also supports more localized real-time insights for individual planning and preparedness. Users will now have the ability to switch between Fahrenheit and Celsius. We know that without Google or artificial intelligence, some of us may not know the difference between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So that website will help you to do that as well. And download weather data directly for research, planning, and operational use. Further enhancements are also planned in the coming months, including expanded marine data for to better support marine users and coastal planning. The Director General of the Cayman Islands National Weather Service, Mr. John Tibbetts, said the upgraded platform marks a significant step towards their mission to keep the public safe and informed. This website transforms how we share critical weather information with the public, improved access to real-time data, clearer warnings, and soon richer marine forecasting will sharpen and will sharpen our collective ability to prepare, plan, and build resilience across the Cayman Islands. Here is a quote from the Premier, the Honorable Andre Ebanks. Weather does not wait, and our communities should not have to either. This upgraded platform is a direct investment in the safety and resilience of every person across the Cayman Islands. When severe weather threatens, our residents, business, and mariners will have faster access to the information they need to make the right decision. This is what a resilient Cayman looks like in practice. So that the Cayman Islands National Weather Service encourages the public to visit www.weather.gov.ky and explore the platform's new features as part of their regular preparedness planning. So, we always hear people, complain, about the radar when it's down. Here you have another platform, enhanced platform for you to access the National Weather Service, and it is www.weather.gov.ky as well. So I'm happy to share that information with you. Let's see if there's anything else coming from the Cayman Islands government that we can share with you. We sort of steer away from some of the more sensational stuff, even though, it is important, like drug arrests and things of that nature. Vehicle accidents as well. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service does provide us with that information. We see here, for instance, CBC intercepts shipment, with ganja. The whole drug smuggling issue is not going away, hasn't gone away. And folks, trust me, with the increasing population in the Cayman Islands, the demand simply goes up, because if you believe that it is only Caymanians who are smoking the weed and using other illicit drugs, no. We bring people here. Remember, we don't administer a drug test before you get a work permit, or I'm not even sure whether or not the question is whether or not you use drugs. On your work permit application form, they may ask you whether or not you have been arrested or convicted of any offenses. But my point is that we see no letting up whatsoever in terms of drug trafficking in the Cayman Islands. It is a challenge. Other news coming from government: the Economics and Statistics Office, they released the unemployment rate. So as of December 2025, the unemployment rate was 2.6%. That was released by the Economics and Statistics Office. They also released Cayman's the growth of the Cayman's economy, and it shows that the economy grew by 2.8% in the first 9 months of 2025. Anything else? Yes. Government also accepted a private member's motion for a newborn investment fund with modifications. I may go over the 2 minutes that I have, but I'm going to share this one with you as well. Oh, no, it's too long. Maybe the first paragraph will cover most of what it says. It says that in Parliament on Thursday, the 3rd of April, Minister of Finance and Economic Development, Honorable Ralston Anglin, JP, MP, confirmed the government's acceptance of private members' motion number 16 of 2025-2026, brought forward by Dwayne S. Seymour, Member of Parliament, Bordentown East, and seconded by Mr. Christopher S. Saunders, MP, Bordentown West, which calls for consideration of a, quote, newborn investment sovereign fund, close of quote, for Caymanian children born after the 1st of January 2026. However, he noted that the government will take a modified approach focusing on financial stability while supporting the intent of the motion. The government has determined the program will move forward as a retirement-focused Caymanian baby bond with no provision for early withdrawal. And I will end this by giving you another quote from Minister Anglin. He said, the government supports the objective of improving long-term financial security for Caymanian children. However, detailed analysis makes clear that such a program only delivers meaningful and fiscally responsible benefits when it is structured as a long-term retirement-focused investment. In that form, a Caymanian baby bond becomes not a short-term benefit, but a powerful compounding asset that can materially strengthen retirement outcomes for future generations. Folks, I want to thank all of you who listened in this morning. We know you're out there listening. All of the Miss Elaine's and the Lord Graham's out there that are listening, are silent majority who listen to us, who support your radio station, Radio Cayman. We want to thank you. We hope that we are providing the service that you want, and anytime that we may fail to achieve the objectives that you are seeking, please let us know so that we can certainly improve the service that we bring to you. No one, no entity is perfect, and we're constantly here at Radio Cayman looking to improve the service that we provide to you. So with that, we say to you, have a great day. Don't forget to, again, support your radio station. Join Mr. Charles Glidden Shallow at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is